In other news, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo has asked for another extension for the inquiry into state capture. He's asking to continue with the work until the 31st of December. The commission, which is funded by taxpayer money, was previously given the green light to continue until the end of September. However, Zondo, chairperson of the Commission of Inquiry, said that the amount of work involved is more than originally thought. He has to prepare summaries and analysis of evidence led over a 3-year period and needs more time to do this, he says. Dr. Benni Lekubu is a senior lecturer at Unisa and Anti-Corruption Specialist. He joins us to talk about this. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us. I've seen an opinion piece of yours where you're saying it's not even a question of whether or not the Zondo Commission should be allowed to continue. In fact, you put it rather bluntly, saying that South Africans have to be given a lesson of state capture and public officials corruption cost 101. Please explain that for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tsepso, for having me, and good evening to your viewers as well. And I think what is of paramount importance that we need to understand as a nation is that you cannot want to pump in a lot of money into the commission, but as well not get a return of investment in that. So what we need to understand as South Africans, as public officials, is that the money that gets into the commission, it's money that it's going to reflect at a later stage once the report is ready, once there's activities that are taking place. And when I speak about activities, I'm referring to a lot of prosecutions that must take place. Of course, there will be arrests that must take place, and this is exactly what we want to see as a country.
I think the increasing costs of the commission so far, I think it's at 356 million rand from the public purse, and you'll correct me if that is a wrong figure, that people are expressing concern about, as in where do we cap the expense? And I'm not necessarily justifying it, but those who may want to derail it will say, look at the arms deal. The costs kept on rising exponentially, and that was later pointed to as a direct result of corruption. How do we differentiate here?
Correct, yeah. So what at this point in time, we're looking at just very close to about R1 billion that has been spent on the commission. But the question is, and one of the things that I keep on putting emphasis on is the fact that we cannot and we shouldn't, and I think the president of this country needs to take this on a very serious light. It's that you cannot put in over R1 billion into the commission, but there's no action that is being taken place. So in other words, what we want to see as a country, and the South Africans that are sitting out there, they want to now say, R1 billion, where are the arrests? Where is prosecution that is taking place? Because you sit for 3 years, you pump in R1 billion into a commission, it's just another white elephant or a document that is going to be pushed under the table like any other commissions that have been taking place. This is now the time where the new dawn that the president has spoken about, this is what we want to see. If this country is serious about dealing with corruption, and if the president, as he had alluded before, is serious about dealing with corruption, and I think this is the time that the president must put himself out there and say, we are going to put a stop to this. We have law enforcement agencies that have now been revitalized. We have the NPA that must now start kicking. And I can tell you already, I see a situation where our NPA this year towards next year, it's going to be extremely busy with all these cases that are coming out. But trust me, Tsepiso, what is important for this country and for the citizens and for the taxpayers is to see people being prosecuted for the many, many crimes that have been committed, for the corruption that is being exposed by the commission. And this is what we want to see.
I think, Mr. Lekubu, for a lot of people, it would be whom will be prosecuted, because if we're saying something to the region of 1.5 trillion has been lost through state capture, people are going to want to see some very big fish. And up until now, the lament is, why are we only seeing small players land, and it's a very minimal amount, land before the National Prosecuting Authority or even being arrested? So how would we quantify the value add of the Commission?
Yeah, no, correct. So one of the things that I kept on putting emphasis on is that we have to see in this country, and if the president wants to deal with corruption, there should not be any holy cows, and any person that has been implicated in corruption must be taken to task. And moving forward, the evidence is there. The evidence leaders have presented the cases. Now, what we want to see out of this particular report, now, mind you, what is going to happen is there's just close to, I think at this point in time, should be close to about 75, 80,000 rands of pages of that report that the commission needs to summarize. And once we get the summary of that report, this is where then the president must then start taking action. And if there's no political will to take action, this is not another futile exercise that we have just seen.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Benni Lekubu, Senior Lecturer at Unisa and Anti-Corruption Specialist.